Ever feel like life's this wild river, just constantly flowing, changing, carving its way through the world, shaping mountains, never stopping? Kind of makes you wonder, what directs that flow? Is it random, just chance? Or are there, like, hidden forces, principles at play? Almost feels like that river is kind of like our lives, right? Well, today, we're going deep. We're diving into ancient wisdom to try and figure out those hidden principles that can really guide us.
That's a powerful image, that river shaping its course. It makes you think, doesn't it, about the currents in our own lives, the fundamental laws guiding our journeys towards, what we consider success or fulfillment.
Yeah, exactly. And it brings up this fascinating question. What could a billionaire entrepreneur possibly have in common with a Buddhist monk from, like, 2,500 years ago? One's driven by wealth, power, the other by simplicity, inner peace. Feels like totally different worlds, right?
It does, yeah. It's a stark contrast. But maybe, just maybe, they both understand something deep about human potential. In their own ways, of course.
Right. That's what we're exploring today. In this deep dive, we're starting with the first of these core principles for the Buddhist teachings, right intention.
Ah, right intention. It's not just a nice thought.
Oh, definitely not. This is big. In the Pali Canon, the foundational Buddhist scriptures, right intention is like the seed of all virtues. Think of it as your inner compass, guiding your actions towards your true purpose. Not just what you want, but your true north.
Exactly. And what's crucial to grasp is its primacy. It comes first. Because if your initial intention is off, even actions that seem good can lead to bad outcomes. You set your navigation system wrong, the whole journey goes off course.
It's like you reap what you sow, right? But it starts with our thoughts. That quality of our intentions shapes what unfolds in our lives. And we're like a gardener. If they plant good seeds in fertile soil, they get a good harvest.
Mhm.
But if they're careless, well, the results are going to be pretty disappointing. Our intentions, they're those seeds.
Perfect analogy. It emphasizes we're not passive, we're actively cultivating these intentions. It's conscious effort, planting seeds of purpose in fertile ground and nurturing them.
And when you talk about the power of intention, man, the story of Angalimala always blows my mind. This guy was a notorious bandit, caused so much suffering. His intention was pure violence. But then he meets the Buddha, and something shifts inside. He chooses a different intention, embraces compassion instead of harm, and his whole life changes. He becomes this revered monk.
Angolimala's story is powerful. It shows how even deeply rooted patterns, they can change. We have that capacity. Never too late to set a new course, to cultivate a different inner motivation.
It's kind of hard to grasp the magnitude of that shift. And what's fascinating is modern psychology is like catching up to this ancient wisdom. There's research showing how our intentions actually influence our behavior, relationships, even our careers.
It's true. Modern psychology sees how intentions drive behavior towards goals. But the Buddhist perspective, it adds this ethical layer. It's not just achieving, it's the moral quality of your intention behind that achievement.
So listener, how can you cultivate this right intention day to day? Here's 3 questions to ponder. 1, what's my deepest purpose today? 2, how can I contribute to the well-being of others? 3, am I acting out of love or am I driven by fear? Just asking yourself these questions can lead to a more fulfilling success, one that's rooted in who you're becoming, not just what you're achieving.
Powerful questions for introspection. They shift us away from a purely self-centered view. It's about aligning our actions with something bigger, our core values, a purpose that extends beyond ourselves.
All right, so we've got right intention as our foundation. Let's move on to the second principle, right speech.
The way we use our words, so powerful.
Huge, right? In the Pali Canon, speech is seen as this incredible force, healing or harm, building or destroying. It almost shapes our reality, how we see ourselves and how others see us.
Right. Speech isn't just conveying information, it's expressing our inner state. The words, how we say them, it reveals our thoughts, our emotions, and importantly, our intentions.
And there's this perfect parable about the Buddha that illustrates this. Someone comes up to him, starts hurling insults, just awful stuff. The Buddha, though, totally calm, doesn't react. Later, he asks the guy, if someone offers you a gift and you don't accept it, who does it belong to? The guy's like, the person who offered it, obviously. And the Buddha smiles and says, exactly, I don't accept your harsh words, so they remain yours.
Such a simple story, but so profound. We have agency, we choose how we receive negativity, and what we send out often comes back to us.
It's a huge lesson. Our words are like a window into our inner world. Speaking with kindness, clarity, truth, it elevates everyone. But the opposite's also true, right? When we criticize, deceive, inflict pain with our words, we're hurting ourselves too.
Absolutely. And this isn't just philosophy. Neuroscience shows how our inner dialogue and external communication affect our brains. Negative self-talk, for instance, can literally wire us for anxiety, whereas positive affirmations, constructive communication, they activate resilience and creativity.
So listener, how do you practice right speech? Here are 3 steps. 1, pause before you speak. Take a breath. Ask yourself, will these words help or will they cause harm? 2, speak truthfully. Honesty builds trust, strengthens relationships. 3, use your words to uplift. Share encouraging stories, offer genuine compliments, be a source of positivity.
Such practical advice. Pausing lets us choose our words instead of reacting. Truthfulness builds trust and authenticity, and using our words to inspire, well, that creates a more positive environment for everyone.
It reminds me of that beautiful quote from the Buddha. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. One truthful word carries so much more weight than empty chatter.
Beautiful, isn't it? It sums up right speech perfectly, meaning over volume, truth over rhetoric.
Okay, we've got intention setting our course and speech guiding our interactions. Now let's bring it into the real world with our 3rd principle, right action. This is where those good intentions and kind words become reality, right? It's embodying those things through our choices and behaviors.
Right, action, it bridges that gap between our inner world, our thoughts and intentions, and the outer world. This is where our values are tested, our characters revealed through what we actually do. Thinking kind thoughts, speaking gently, those are important, but it's our actions that have the most direct impact.
So true. It's not enough to dream about making a difference or just talk about your values. You got to do things that align with them, that contribute positively. In the Pali Canon, right action is described in 2 ways. What to avoid harming others, stealing, unethical behavior, and what to cultivate. Generosity, ethical living. It's like 2 sides of the same coin.
It's a framework, you see. Abstaining from harm sets the ethical baseline, but then actively practicing generosity and ethical conduct that goes beyond just avoiding bad, it's about actively doing good.
Think about Mahatma Gandhi. His whole philosophy, his movement, it was built on nonviolence and justice. His actions were a perfect expression of his beliefs. He didn't just talk about peace, he lived it, even when facing incredible oppression. He truly believed change starts with each person taking responsibility for their own actions.
Gandhi, he's a powerful example of right action. His commitment to nonviolence, even when met with brutality, shows what happens when you align your actions with your deepest principles. That consistency, it was everything.
So inspiring. Listener, how does right action show up in your life? Maybe it's choosing to act with integrity, even when it's tough, or actively seeking ways to help others instead of focusing only on your own gain. Maybe it's choosing long-term ethical choices over those quick wins that might compromise your values.
It's about conscious choice, you know?
Right.
Action isn't blindly following rules, it's actively choosing behaviors that reflect your highest ideals. It takes self-awareness and a willingness to adjust when you see your actions aren't matching up with your values.
So here's a little exercise to help with this. 1, identify your core values. What are those 3 or 4 guiding principles you really live by? Honesty, compassion, fairness, whatever they are. 2, reflect on your recent actions. Look back at some decisions you've made. Did they actually align with those values? 3, based on that, commit to one small change. Just one thing you can do to better embody those ideals through your actions. Even a small step in the right direction can make a huge difference over time.
Love that exercise. It's practical, actionable. It connects our values to our behavior. By identifying, reflecting, committing to specific changes, we become more intentional. We live with more integrity.
Because it really boils down to this. It's not just what you believe, it's what you do. As the Buddha said, your work is to discover your world and then with all your heart give yourself to it. It's about fully engaging with life in a way that reflects who you truly are.
Beautifully put. Right action, it's actively, wholeheartedly engaging with the world, bringing your full self, your ethical self, to everything you do.
Okay, so we've covered intention, speech, and action. Now let's talk about how we actually apply ourselves with the 4th principle, right effort. We live in a world that glorifies hustle, right? Push yourself to the limit, work harder, harder, harder. But what if real success isn't about pushing yourself to exhaustion? What if it's more about directing your energy wisely, like a trained athlete focuses their training. They don't just randomly exhaust themselves.
I like that athlete analogy. Right effort,
Yeah.
It's not about maximum effort all the time. It's about skillful effort. Our mental and physical resources, they're not unlimited, right? We need to cultivate them, use them wisely, direct them towards what truly matters.
Exactly. In the Pali Canon, Right effort is about diligently cultivating positive qualities and letting go of the negative ones. It's not about doing more, it's about focusing on what contributes to your growth, to your well-being, and reducing what holds you back.
It's both sides, you see. Cultivating good, abandoning bad. It's not just doing good things, it's actively working to overcome negative tendencies, distractions. It takes discernment and a real commitment to personal growth.
It's like our mind is a garden, right? If you don't tend to it, weeds grow. Those negative thoughts, anxieties, bad habits, they just take over, right? Effort is like weeding and planting. You pull out the weeds and you plant seeds of positivity, kindness, focus, understanding. But it's not a one-time thing, right? It's constant. Like you can't clear a whole garden in a day, and you can't expect those good qualities to just blossom without care.
The garden metaphor is perfect. It shows how right effort is an ongoing process. You tend to your inner state with patience, Growth, it's gradual. It needs consistent, mindful attention.
There's a story about this, actually. A young monk was feeling discouraged. He asked the Buddha, "How do I know if I'm making any progress?" The Buddha's answer was so simple but deep. He said, "Look at your thoughts, your words, your actions. Are they becoming more wholesome, more compassionate, more wise? If so, you're moving forward. It's not about reaching some perfect endpoint. It's about the direction of your effort. Are you moving towards positive transformation?"
It's a reframing of progress, isn't it? It's not what you achieve outwardly, it's about refining yourself internally. That's the core of right effort.
And it reminds me of James Clear's Atomic Habits. His whole philosophy is about small, consistent actions leading to big results. It's not about massive, unsustainable changes. It's about those tiny daily efforts. Meditating for 5 minutes, choosing one healthy habit, taking a moment for gratitude. It's those small efforts done consistently that change your reality.
Clear's work is a great modern application of right effort. Consistency, the power of small actions, it makes progress feel achievable, sustainable even.
So listener, how do you cultivate right effort? Here's a framework. 1, identify your priorities. What truly matters? Where should your energy go? 2, what drains your energy? Social media, maybe. Toxic relationships, things that don't align with your goals, set boundaries around those. 3, celebrate your progress, even the small wins. Growth happens one step at a time. Recognizing those steps keeps you motivated.
Simple, clear framework. Focus your energy, minimize distractions, acknowledge your progress. It makes right effort effective, and it helps you stay motivated over time.
Because just putting in effort without direction is like sailing without a rudder. Lots of energy, but you won't get where you want to go. Right effort ensure your energy is channeled wisely, moving you towards your goals, your values.
Effort without wisdom, it can backfire. Burnout, frustration. Right effort brings intention, awareness into our actions, makes it sustainable.
All right, we're getting to the heart of it now. We've explored intention, speech, action, and effort. Now let's turn inward with the 5th principle, right mindfulness. And I want to ask you, listener, how often are you truly present? Like really here, now, not lost in thoughts of the past or worrying about the future. It's tough in our busy world, right?
Our minds, they naturally wander. To the past, to the future. Right mindfulness, it brings us back to the present, the only reality we truly have.
Exactly. So what is it? In the Pali Canon, it's described as this sustained awareness of what's happening right now, without judgment. Like turning on a light in a dark room. It just illuminates what's already there without the shadows of our interpretations.
That non-judgmental part is key. We observe our thoughts, feelings, sensations without getting swept away. We don't label them good or bad, we just see them. Open, receptive awareness.
I always think of a mirror, A clean mirror reflects perfectly, but a dusty one, it distorts the image. When our minds are cluttered with worries, judgments, attachments, our perception gets distorted. Mindfulness is like cleaning that mirror so we can see clearly. Ever been so glued to your phone while walking that you missed something beautiful around you? That's the opposite of mindfulness.
That's it. Mindfulness, it removes the filters. We see things more objectively without our biases and preconceptions.
And there's this great story about a guy named Bahia. He goes to the Buddha, desperate for wisdom. He's like, teach me the essence of it all. And the Buddha's answer was so simple. When seeing, just see. When hearing, just hear. When feeling, just feel. That's it. Simple, but powerful. Just observe your experience without adding anything to it.
Pure attention. Noticing what arises. No stories, no judgments. just connecting directly to the present moment.
And what's amazing is how this ancient practice is now used everywhere to manage stress, increase focus, build resilience. It's being recognized and used by successful people across so many different fields.
It speaks volumes, doesn't it? Mindfulness, it's everywhere now. Mental health, business, it's because it works. It helps us navigate this complex modern life, find inner peace, enhance well-being.
So listener, how do you incorporate right mindfulness into your life? 3 simple practices. 1. Mindful breathing. Feel overwhelmed. Pause. Take 5 deep breaths. Focus on the sensation of breathing. 2. Single tasking. Instead of juggling everything, give your full attention to one thing at a time. Eating, walking, working, whatever it is. 3. Gratitude. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each evening. It trains your mind to notice the good stuff.
Great suggestions. Easy to start with, easy to fit into your day, and consistent practice, even in small ways, makes a difference over time. A more present, focused mind.
It's about training your mind to come back to the present moment over and over again. Like the Buddha said, don't dwell on the past, don't dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment.
That quote, it's the essence of mindfulness, bringing our attention back to the here and now, the only place where we can truly experience and engage with life.
Now, let's take that focus even deeper. Our 6th principle. Right concentration. It's like taking mindfulness and amplifying it. Your mind becomes absorbed in what you choose to focus on, leading to flow states and deep insights.
Building on mindfulness, right, taking that awareness and intentionally directing it, sustaining it. It's developing mental focus, stability, one-pointedness. That's what allows for deeper awareness, deeper understanding.
Imagine a magnifying glass. When you hold it up, the sunlight's scattered, right? But focus it on one spot and it can start a fire. Same with our minds. Scattered attention, our energy dissipates. But focus it, and you can achieve incredible clarity and insight.
The magnifying glass, perfect analogy. Focus amplifies our mental power. When we direct our mental energy with precision, intention, amazing things can happen.
Now, in Buddhist teachings, right concentration is described as cultivating the ability to enter these deep meditative states called jhana, states of deep peace, intense focus, clarity. Might sound advanced, but the basics, focusing and minimizing distractions, those are things everyone can do.
Jhana, it's like the ancient term for flow state. And while reaching those deeper states takes serious practice, the foundation of right concentration, that's accessible to everyone.
Take someone like Elon Musk. Love him or hate him, the guy can focus. He immerses himself in problems, blocks out distractions, laser focus. That's a big part of his success.
Musk's ability to focus, it shows the power of right concentration. Deep, sustained engagement, no distractions, leads to breakthroughs. It works.
And the good news is, concentration isn't a talent, it's a skill. Anyone can develop it with practice.
Absolutely. Like a muscle, you train it, it gets stronger, it takes time, persistence, but the rewards are worth it. Mental clarity, productivity, deeper insights.
So how do we cultivate right concentration? 3 things. 1, set clear goals for your task. Know what you're aiming for. It keeps you focused. 2, create a distraction-free space. Silence your phone, close those extra tabs, let people know you need quiet time. 3, meditate. Even short sessions help train your mind to be more still, less reactive, more focused.
Practical steps. Clear intentions, a supportive environment, and mental training. It all works together to enhance our ability to focus, to deepen our cognitive abilities.
And when your mind is truly concentrated, you see things differently, more clearly. As the Buddha said, a well-concentrated mind sees things as they truly are.
Cutting through the clutter to the truth.
Yeah.
Deeper understanding.
Okay, we've explored 6 principles. Intention, speech, action, effort, mindfulness, concentration. Now the 7th and final principle, the one that ties everything together, right livelihood.
Right livelihood. It's how you live your life through your work, not just earning a living, but living in a way that's aligned with your values.
It's asking, does my job contribute to the well-being of others? Does it support my own personal and spiritual growth? It's about more than just a paycheck. It's about living a meaningful life through your work.
It brings ethics into our working lives. Our livelihood, it should be sustainable, not just for us, but for everyone. It should contribute to a just, compassionate, sustainable world.
I imagine it like a symphony, you know. Each action, each decision, each moment, it's a note. When they're in harmony with our values, our purpose, the music, our life, it resonates beautifully. But if one note is off, if our work clashes with our beliefs, it creates disharmony. Right livelihood, it's about making sure our life's symphony is harmonious.
I love that, the symphony analogy. It shows how interconnected our lives are. When our work is aligned with our inner compass, it creates a sense of wholeness, purpose, integrity.
So what does it look like practically? The Pali Canon describes it as earning a living without harming yourself or others. Avoid professions that involve exploitation, violence, deception, things that are harmful. Seek out work that fosters compassion, wisdom, sustainability. These teachings are ancient, but man, they're so relevant today.
Absolutely. In our interconnected world, the impact of our work reaches far and wide. We have a responsibility to choose a livelihood that minimizes harm and promotes well-being.
There's a story about a merchant who asked the Buddha, "How can I run my business ethically and still make a living? Won't I lose all my profits?" And the Buddha's answer was so wise. He said, true wealth isn't just about possessions. It's about fairness, respect, generosity. When we act ethically, abundance flows naturally.
It challenges the idea that ethics and success are incompatible. Fairness, respect, generosity, they're not just good principles, they can lead to long-term prosperity and goodwill.
Makes you think about what success really means, right? We're told it's about money, fame, climbing the ladder, but maybe it's about positive impact, the legacy we leave behind, creating value that goes beyond ourselves.
Right, livelihood. It widens our view of success. It includes the ethical, social, even spiritual aspects of our work. It's about our impact on the world, not just our own personal gain.
So let's look at some real-world examples of right livelihood in action.
Seeing it in action can inspire us, right? It shows how these principles can be lived in different ways.
First, Muhammad Yunus, founder of Grameen Bank. He gave microloans to impoverished women in Bangladesh so they could start businesses and lift themselves out of poverty. His focus wasn't on getting rich, it was on alleviating suffering, empowering people. That's right livelihood, compassion, fairness, sustainable change.
Grameen Bank, it's a prime example of social entrepreneurship aligned with right livelihood. Using business to address social issues, create real change.
Then there's Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft. Under him, Microsoft shifted towards collaboration, empathy, a growth mindset. He talks about continuous learning, personal development, a positive work environment, kindness, innovation, ethical conduct in a huge tech company. That's right livelihood too.
Nella shows how these principles can work even in huge corporations. Empathy, collaboration, growth mindset, it creates a positive, ethical, and productive work environment.
And remember, right livelihood isn't just for famous people. Think about the everyday heroes. Teachers, nurses, artists, environmentalists. Maybe they don't make a ton of money, but they enrich humanity in profound ways. It's those acts of service, creativity, dedication, that's right livelihood too.
So true. It's not about the job title, it's about the intention, the impact. What are you contributing to the world?
So listener, how can you embrace right livelihood? A few steps. 1, reflect on your current path. Ask yourself, does my work make a positive contribution? Am I proud of what I do? Are people treated fairly? If you hesitate, if you feel negative, maybe it's time to explore changes. Even small ones, like volunteering or side projects that feel more aligned.
Self-reflection, that's where it starts. Honestly assess your work, its impact. It helps you see where change is needed.
2, align your work with your values. What are those core principles you identified earlier? Does your job reflect them? If not, how can you bridge that gap? Maybe advocate for better practices at work, or pursue creative outlets that feed your soul.
Aligning your work with your values, it brings purpose and meaning. Maybe it means advocating for change in your current role, or finding new opportunities that truly reflect who you are.
3, practice generosity in your work. Donate, share your knowledge, be a good listener. It amplifies your positive impact, creates a more compassionate environment. As the Buddha said, generosity brings happiness at every stage of its expression.
Generosity in all its forms, that's right livelihood in action. It shifts us from self-interest to contributing to the well-being of others, a more connected, compassionate world.
And finally, be grateful for your work. Instead of focusing on the negatives, appreciate the growth opportunities, the connections you make, the skills you develop. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance.
Gratitude changes everything. Even amidst challenges, it helps us appreciate the good things, the opportunities, the contributions we make.
And just to tie it all together, these 7 principles, they're interconnected. Right intention sets the direction, right speech guides our communication, right action brings it into the world, right effort fuels our progress, right mindfulness keeps us present, right concentration sharpens our focus, and right livelihood weaves it all into our work and our lives. It's a complete roadmap for authentic living, for holistic well-being.
The interconnectedness is crucial. Each principle supports the others. A holistic framework for ethics, mental discipline, wisdom. It leads to personal liberation and a positive impact on the world.
Imagine a stone dropped into a still pond, ripples spread out, touching everything. Every action, every word, every intention you have, it's like that stone. It creates ripples.
It's the ripple effect. Our choices, our words, our intentions, they have consequences. We need to act mindfully, responsibly.
So what kind of ripples do you want to create? Kindness, courage, positive change, or something else? The choice is yours. And remember, even the biggest journey starts with one single step. Take that step today.
We have the power to create those ripples. We can be a force for good in the world through every choice we make.
Embrace these 7 principles. Let them guide you towards a life full of purpose, balance, and fulfillment. When you align yourself with these truths, you unlock your potential and you contribute to the potential of the world.
It's not about reaching some perfect ideal. It's about living in a way that brings wisdom, compassion, well-being into our lives and the lives of others.
Stay inspired, stay curious, and most importantly, stay true to your path. The world is waiting for your unique gifts.